What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Errol "The Truth" Spence. Spence has a surprising comments, or made surprising comments, that says he's actually rooting for Manny Pacquiao to beat Keith "one-time" Thurman. He says that if Thurman gets defeated by Manny Pacquiao, it would be a bigger fight being Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao rather than the other way around. And he also stated that if Keith Thurman beats Manny Pacquiao, he'll find himself injured again. So, in other words, that was Errol Spence's low-key way of saying that Keith Thurman will duck him once again. You know, Keith Thurman has been known to avoid Errol Spence or an Errol Spence fight. At first, he used to avoid any type of conversation about it, but now, you know, due to the fact that Errol Spence, his name has got bigger, he's kept winning, that Keith Thurman had to include him by saying now that he's number 2, the best welterweight in the welterweight division. So, you know, it's funny how Errol said, "Oh man, he gonna get injured again. He ain't gonna fight me," you know, and it's a trip because I think Keith Thurman is after that name grab. It wouldn't be surprising if he does beat Pacquiao, he won't fight Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Because Errol has Sean Porter problems. But I do agree with Errol Spence. If Manny Pacquiao beats Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao Spence would be a bigger fight than Thurman Spence. And I'm going to tell you why. You remember that fight that was the fight that everybody wanted to see, Thurman and Spence. And Thurman got out of the game so damn long to the point where, oh, I had tennis elbow, then I got injured again, then I can't come back, then I don't want to fight anyone tough right away, then I need to get back here, then I need a tune-up fight, then I need to do this and do that. And that fight just fizzed out, people. The whole idea of that fight, nobody really wants to see that. Nobody's looking for it. You know, I used to make videos about, hey, where is Keith Thurman? Shit, you would probably only have 50 views because no one's looking for Keith Thurman, because Keith Thurman was on a milk carton. He was missing, people. Okay? Now, that wasn't a fighter that sparked interest and pretty much did exactly what Errol Spence did coming into the weight class, though. And that's Terrence Crawford. So that fight really removed or replaced that potential fight that we wanted to see with Keith Thurman and Errol Spence anyway. Now everyone wants to see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. You see what I'm saying? Nobody really gives a shit about Keith Thurman. He's pretty much like that guy that stepped to the left and kind of bowed down and kind of had to try to wait everyone out, but he lost his credibility, you know what I mean, and his stripes in the meantime. You know, and it makes sense. You know, if he fights and beats Manny Pacquiao, hey, you know, more power to him, but it won't be what he thinks it's going to be. He thinks he's going to be this pay-per-view star, like, oh, I finished the king. He thinks he's going to be like Pacquiao when Pacquiao retired Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? For one, no one really gave Pacquiao a shot. That's why it was so surprising. For two, De La Hoya was De La Hoya. You know what I mean? He had the advantage, or so people thought he had the advantage in height, reach, you know. And De La Hoya was the cash cow. The cash cow is really not Manny Pacquiao anymore. You know what I'm saying? So if he thinks that he's going to beat Manny Pacquiao and get the same accolades and respect as Manny Pacquiao beating Oscar De La Hoya, he's mistaken. You know what I'm saying? If Keith Thurman wanted to get that title of torch passing, he should actually fight someone like Canelo. You know what I mean? So if Errol Spence is in any kind of negotiation or was talking about fighting Canelo, that would have been smart, because then that was the person that could actually pass the torch to you, because he is technically and actually the cash cow as well as the unified middleweight champion. So everything leads to Canelo, and both of those guys can fight Canelo. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got to agree with Errol Spence on this one because, you know, Keith Thurman's only taking that fight because he feels he has an advantage, I feel. You know, but he's sadly mistaken, I feel, also. But we will see on the day. But I gotta love the confidence of Keith Thurman. He's always been a confident dude. I gotta give him that. But as far as Errol Spence thinks that he's gonna duck him again once he beats Pacquiao. And if that happens, the only way we're gonna find out is if Thurman beats Pacquiao. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Errol Spence's statements rooting for Manny Pacquiao. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.